Hi guys! Today I'm going to go over questions 1 through 5 of the 2016 AMC8. Timestamps to each individual problem will be included in the description. Question 1 states, the longest professional tennis match lasted a total of 11 hours and 5 minutes. How many minutes was that? So all we have to do to solve this question is see how many minutes 11 hours and 5 minutes was. So that would be 11 hours times 60 minutes because there are 60 minutes in an hour plus 5. So that would be 665. So the answer is C. Question 2 states, in rectangle ABCD, AB and AB equals 6 and AD equals 8. Point M is the midpoint of AD. What is the area of triangle AMC? Okay. So first of all, let's just draw a triangle, rectangle ABCD. So it's okay if it's not to scale or even if it doesn't really look good. So let's just label these points A, B, C, D. AB equals 6 and AD equals 8. So BC would also equal 8, 6, 8. And point M is the midpoint of AD. So point M is about right there, and AM would equal 4, MD would equal 4. So we want to find the area of triangle, that was a little messy. We want to find the area of triangle AMC. So we want to find this area. So how would we do that? Well, the area of a triangle equals 1/2 times base times height. So all we have to do to find the area of triangle AMC would be to multiply 1/2 times the base, which is 4, and the height, which is 6. So that would be 12. So answer choice A is our answer. Question 3 states, 4 students take an exam. 3 of their scores are 70, 80, and 90. If the average of their 4 scores is 70, then what is the remaining score? All right, this is okay. We can do this. So 4 students. Let's say student A, B, C, D, easy. And let's say A passed, woo, 70. B, 80, nice. C, 90, pretty good. And you know what, for student D, let's just say their score was D, because we don't know their score yet. That's what we have to find out. So the average of their 4 scores is 70. So let's see, wow, D must have done pretty bad. That's all right. Room for improvement. Mistakes help you grow, woo! Okay, yeah. Over 4. This would be the average of the 4 scores, right? Because you add all the scores, then divide by the number of scores that are there, which is 4. And that would equal 70. So let's multiply both sides by 4. 70 plus 80 plus 90 plus D equals 280. Sorry if I'm going a little slow. It's hard to write fast for some reason. Let's add all these up, which would be, first of all, these. That's 150. 240. So 70 plus 80 plus 90 equals 240. So 240 plus D equals 280. Let's subtract 240 from both sides. D equals 40. Room for improvement. Mistakes help you grow. Yes, A. A is the answer. Question 4 states, when Chino was a boy, he could run 15 miles in 3 hours and 30 minutes. As an old man, he can now walk 10 miles in 4 hours. How many minutes longer does it take for him to travel a mile now compared to when he was a boy? Okay, so let's think about this problem. What we need to find is how long it took for him to travel a mile when he was a boy, and how long it took for him to travel a mile when he was an old man. And subtract the old man time from the boy time, if that makes sense. So the way we're going to find that is using the rate formula. I don't know the real name for it. I'm not sure if there is a name, but I'll just write it out. Rate equals distance over over time. This is standard, just something you kind of need to know for these tests. So let's calculate the rate of the boy. So I'm gonna write that, rate of boy. So the rate of the boy would be, he ran 15 miles, that would be distance. So 15 miles over 3 hours and 30 minutes. So we can make a decision here. We can choose to find this in terms of miles per minute or miles per hours. I will do miles per minutes, since here it needs the answer in terms of minutes. So minutes would be 3 hours, 30 minutes. Let's calculate that, 360, or not 360, but you can see what I'm writing. This is okay. So 180 plus 30 equals 210. So he ran that much in 210 minutes. Let me just erase that so it's cleaner. Okay, so let's do rate of, instead of old man, let's just do man. Don't be rude about his age. I'm just kidding. He's not real. Okay, so 10 miles in 4 hours. So again, 4 times 60, you can do that in your head. It's 240. 240 minutes. Oh wow, sorry guys, I wrote this kind of messy. It's okay. You heard me say what it was. It's okay. So let's calculate this. This would be, I'll do this in my head for you guys. 14 miles per minute. This is 1 for 24 miles per minute. It's okay if you can't do this in your head. Just, you know, write down on a piece of paper, do some calculations. It's all part of the fun, you know? Okay. So, okay, so now we need to change this formula up a little bit. So you want to find time. That means you want time by itself. So what you're going to do is multiply time on both sides and divide both sides of the equation by rate. So that's pretty standard. Okay, so I'm going to make things a little less righty. If that's not a word, it's okay. Righty for you guys. So symbolize rate with R, distance with D, time with T. I'll just do this from now on so it's easier. So our original equation, if you'll remember, was D over T. You don't need to remember, it's written right there. Okay, and so time would equal, multiply both sides by T, divide both sides by R, that would be distance over rate. So we use this to, let me just delete this circle here, that was a little messy. So we use this formula to figure out how long it takes for Chinu to travel a mile as a boy. So how do we do that? Miles, okay, so distance. Distance would be, okay, 1 mile. So 1 mile over 1 over 14 miles per minute, which would equal 14 minutes. This one would be 1 mile over 1 over 24 miles per minute. That would equal 24 minutes. So there we have it. So the boy takes 14 minutes to walk a mile. The old man takes 24 minutes to walk a mile. So how many minutes longer does it take for him to travel a mile now as an old man, which is 24, compared to when he was a boy, which is 14? So that would be 24 minutes. 24 minutes minus 14 minutes. That's 10 minutes. So the answer is B. Sorry if that was a little too long for you guys. It took a while to explain. Okay, question 5 states, the number n is a 2-digit number. And these are 2 rules or constraints that we have for n. When n is divided by 9, the remainder is 1. When n is divided by 10, the remainder is 3. Sorry, that's a typo. That would be, what is the remainder when n is divided by 11. So let's do this. So here's what we can extract from this information. N would have to equal 9x plus 1 for some integer value of x, and n would have to equal 10y for some integer value of, oh no, not just 10y, plus 3. 10y plus 3 for some integer value of y. So let's set these values equal to each other because common variable, woo! So 9x plus 1 equals 10y plus 3. Subtract 1 from both sides equals 9x equals 10y plus 2. So now what we can do, because x and y are both integer values, they wouldn't be integer values. They would be counting number values. They would be non-negative integers. So now we can substitute non-negative integers in place of y, just for fun. I mean, not just for fun, to solve the problem, but instead of x, let's do y. So, because why not? Okay, and we can do this because if we find one value of n that fits both these constraints, the remainder will necessarily be the same for each example of n that we could possibly come up with that fits these constraints. So let's do this. Let's say y equals 1. So that would mean 9x equals 12, which does not work because x must be a non-negative integer. Y equals 2, 9x equals 22, does not work. Y equals 3, 9x equals 32, does not work. So we can continue on like this for a while, and just to make sure, we can definitely choose to write out each value of y until we hit that one example that does work. But here's just a quick trick, so 9x has to end with 2 because of this, and 10y will never ever change the units digit. So what is a multiple of 9 that ends in 2, or the first one? The first one we can think of would be 9x equals 72. When does that happen? When y equals 7. Oh, isn't that just lovely? Okay, so now it wouldn't be now. So 9x equals 72 would mean x equals 8. So we can either plug in x or y into their respective equations to figure out the value of n now. So n would equal, let's use x, 9 times 8 plus 1, that would be 73. So what is the remainder when n is divided by 11? 73 over 11, that would be 6. Remainder, let me think. 7? Why am I questioning myself so much? Yeah, it's 7. So that would be E. Thank you guys so much for watching. The rest of the problems are going to be uploaded soon in a separate video, so stay tuned for that and more math content in the future.